What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Daily Upside. I'm your host, Keenan Rivals. I took a few days off, guys. I don't know how many of you sports card investors are parents, but this back to school, this COVID, this not COVID, this inconsistency in the world is driving me crazy. I'm not gonna lie. And the more that I'm involved with it, is the more that I think it does have a direct impact on the market, even though it's not like market focused. I think people are getting busy, people's lives are changing. A lot of people don't have as much time as they used to, and things are kind of getting back to normal, but in a crazy way. But we're not here to like update you guys on the news or anything. Just wanted to tell you guys where I've been at for the past few days. Like normal, we're going to start off today talking about the Athletic. Not a lot going on here. A lot of free agency talk. A lot of LeBron and Jordan comparisons. We kind of predicted that. We've also seen on ESPN, if you kind of watch First Take or all of the shows, a lot of Kevin Durant talk. And we'll talk about Kevin Durant later. But yeah, not a lot going on. I did see here that we're doing some mock drafts now, and LaMelo's moving up the chart. He's probably going to be the number one pick. I don't think it's going to be by Minnesota. I think they're going to trade him. Wherever he goes, in my opinion, LaMelo needs to go to a team where he can just play right away. I'm so tired of these high end number one draft picks being drafted by teams that don't even want to play them. It just doesn't benefit them really well. If you just let your guy go out there and play, I think that's how, he gets better. I don't really know of anybody who's been shell for 3 or 4 years and he's just like coming out dominating, not a number one pick. So yeah, again, not a lot going on in NBA news, but that's what's going on. We haven't really spoke since LeBron won the championship. His cards didn't do well. If you're holding LeBron James cards right now, you're probably down, and you're probably bummed out. A huge sentiment in the market right now is just like, is LeBron going to go back up? And obviously, I can't predict that. What I'm showing you guys is a quick chart here through market movers, and it kind of shows you the small investment that I made into LeBron James. I put $1,000 or 1,000 or so into his 2018, 2019 optic cards. And for full transparency, I owned a ton of these cards. I moved a lot of them during their peak. And a lot of people, picked up these cards and they're down on their investment. So as you can see here with my $1,000 investment, I'm down about 164 bucks, which sucks. But the real thing that's really happening is that people are looking at the chart, and the charts are what they're really down on. So a lot of people, when we kind of announced this card, or when I kind of told people to buy it, it was actually well before this. We were buying the card, as you can see here, at about $200, and they peaked. They were going for like 350. This is around the point where I started to sell my cards around that 350 price point. I'm like, I made 150 bucks, cool. And then it kind of shot up. And then I moved a few at this price point, and then we kind of seen them stable, and then they shot back up again. And this is where a lot of people are kind of getting bummed out. A lot of people were holding the card at $585, and then it dropped all the way down to today to 175. So, we're talking about a huge loss, and a lot of people don't understand that, this is an unrealized gain. If you had the card at 585 bucks, or you could have sold it at $600, that was an unrealized gain. And mentally, that card was sellable at $600, and now it's worth 175. In your mind, you lost $400. You're like, I lost 400 bucks. This sucks. I could have made XYZ. But in reality, I own five of these cards and I've only lost $165. Now, obviously, this matters, depending on when you bought it. But I'm just saying this to say that you this investing game, sports cards market or any market, it's not always going to be like a net positive gain. Someone reached out to me yesterday in the Discord, and they were kind of asking some questions, about being down in the market. And I was like, look, you, the game is to win the war. We're not trying to win every battle. We're not going to go up here, buy cards, and bat 1,000%. That happens like in the bull run. That happens when everything's moving up. But we have to be smart. We got to be strategic. This was a good play. Buying LeBron James's card, his first year Lakers jersey, that was a good play into a new market of investors. LeBron won the championship. LeBron won the finals MVP. If that made his cards not go up, then that's not bad on our end. The market is just a market. We can't predict what the market does. We can only make sense of things. That makes sense that LeBron should go up at that price point. If he doesn't, then there's something else going on that's holding him down, whether it's COVID, whether it's a mental barrier, whether it's just people being interested in new prospects. whatever it is, like we're not going to be able to always predict that. And you have to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I bought a card back in June of a guy who won the championship. 9 times out of 10, if you continue to do that, you'll make money. And I think that's the mindset and mentality that you have to have. So for me, I lost 165 bucks. If I want to sell these right now, then I lost 165 bucks. But there's a strong chance that these cards could go back up, you know, and there's a strong chance that they can't. We really don't know. I was looking at Card Ladder, and this is a funny comparison, but I was looking at Charizard, and I was just kind of going through the numbers, and obviously this card is insane, but if you look at this chart, it doesn't look that bad. You're like, okay, Charizard was kind of consistent, and then he shot all the way up. But if you actually pay attention, like he wasn't that consistent. It sold for 1,400 around this time in 2018, and then it went up to it went to 13, and then it stayed around 13, and then it jumped to 16, and then it jumped again to 19, and then it fell back down to 12. That's like a 40% loss, and then it jumped back up, and then it fell back down. So sometimes in the market, it's going to go up and down, and this is investing. Right now, what we're doing, if we're buying 2018 cards, if we're buying non-rookie cards or not so popular cards, we're speculating. We're just hoping that things go up, and we're figuring out why they should go up, and we're just hoping that it happens. And sometimes speculating just doesn't work. You're speculating if you're just like looking to buy a card and sell it right away. It's pure speculation, and when you speculate, you have to be able to be able to take a loss. People who bought these 1999 Charizard cards, they've been holding these cards for so long. Like, I mean, come on. Like, it goes back to 2009. Like, this is investing. This is somebody saying, I'm going to buy a Charizard and I'm never going to let it go because I think Charizard has real value. And long term, if you're looking to be like a long term investor, or if you're looking to actually be an investor, these are the kind of plays you have to make. You have to invest in the guys that have long term value. You have to invest in the cards that have long term value. LeBron's 2018-19 Optic is a dope card. I think it's a really dope concept. I think it still has room to move up, but it may not be like that long term, like, oh my God, I can't believe I have this LeBron card. It's not going to be that. No different than like a modern day Charizard isn't going to be that. I think it's really important to know who you want to be as an investor. And I can't drill this home enough. You can't just change every day. If you're going to be in the flip market, then you got to be able to flip. And sometimes when you flip, you got to take losses. If you're going to be a long-term investor, then you got to be able to buy cars and just not look at the price every day. You got to be able to say, I'm holding this car at $20 no matter what. No different than in the stock market. If you buy stuff in the stock market, you're playing the long game. You're playing the I think this company is going to do well in 20 years game. You're not playing the short-term game. And I just can't drill that home enough, guys. I say it to everybody in the Discord. I'm saying it to you guys. Know who you want to be and know what you want to be. Know what your goals are, and that'll really help determine what you should buy and what you shouldn't buy. If you're just trying to make a quick dollar, then you got to play the trends. You got to get the Luca, you got to get the hot cards, but you also got to be able to get out of the hot cards. You can't play the trends and then be emotionally attached. So if you bought this LeBron James Optic and your goal was to just flip, then you should have flipped it. You know what I mean? And I can't stress that enough. If you bought this at 200 and it went to 600, flip it. Like, why are we holding on to it? That's a 3x. If it goes 4x, whatever, you just eat it up and you move on. So figure out who you are, who you want to be, and just stick to it. And I think you'll have a lot of success. And I hope that helps people who've been asking me that question. I wanted to give you guys another example of this. So, you guys know I'm big on Trey Young. I just bought a Trey Young Immaculate for like $1,500, a 3-color patch, raw card, not even graded. I just really wanted one. I'm a big Trey Young fan, and I really wanted his card. And I'm also a big Kyrie fan, and I was looking at Kyrie, and I'm just like, man, this Kyrie card is $1,400. And like, we're talking Kyrie, like one of the best ball handlers, one of the best finishers, not the most consistent player in terms of actually playing, but when he goes out there, he kills it. And this card has been sitting here for so long, and it's definitely overvalued. I'm not telling anybody to go buy this, so don't get that confused. I'm trying to make a point that at one point in time, Kyrie was like the future of basketball. He was the first overall pick. He was LeBron's, wingman. He went ahead and won his own team. And now you can't sell this card for the price of a Trae Young card. And if you think about it, that's pretty crazy. 2012, 13 Immaculate should be an iconic set. Kyrie's and is going to go down as a great player regardless of what happens. But I'm pointing this out to show you that, let's just say you're a long-term investor. Like in 2012, as a long-term investor, Kyrie's a great option. Kyrie, he's killing it. And right now, Trae Young, Luka, great options. But there's a very strong chance that they can just become Kyrie. There's a strong chance that Luka could just become James Harden in a couple of years. The guy who gets 30 points, steps back threes, doesn't get in shape, and doesn't win championships. There's a good chance that Trae Young could just be like a really good shooter, and that's just as far as we get with him. So you have to be careful on what you're buying. If you're buying like really hardcore uh legacy plays, then you have to invest safely, and you got to invest in people that are already proven. And you can't speculate. If you buy this card, you're just speculating. And here's another example: a raw version sold for $639. Remember, I paid $1,500 for a Trae Young. I paid double the price for a Trae Young, and Kyrie sitting here for $639. So I know this episode's a little negative, or a lot of information, or I'm speaking really fast, but just trying to drill these points home so you guys can kind of understand like what the market may be in a couple years, or what it could do, or where your money could go, because it's important to like just understand your position, because that can help you make better decisions. If you're a flipper, know you're a flipper, and just start flipping. Don't get emotionally attached. Don't try to get top dollar. Don't try to buy at the bottom. Follow the trends and flip them. If you're a long-term investor, play it safe. You're not going to get rich off sports cards. Like, they might triple or double in value. You're not going to get rich. You're going to have some losses. You're going to have some wins. And it's just important to have a diverse portfolio so you can hedge. I just lost $100 something. I don't care. I've made thousands of dollars in this market. So if I lose $100, I chalk it up as a loss and I move to the next card, because that's the only way to do it. What else do we got here? So I've been uploading the daily upside to Instagram now. So if you hate YouTube, you can check it out over there. And I got something really cool I want to talk about. I've actually bought some boxes of cards. I'm not somebody who buys a lot of boxes of cards, but I've been trying to figure out how to give back to the Discord, how to give back to the community. A lot of you guys, kind of helped me to put this content out, and without you, I really couldn't do it. So I'm doing a giveaway every month now to people who are signed up to the Patreon. So if you haven't already, definitely check it out. I opened up a new tier, as the tier 1 was sold out. And this month we're starting off light. We're doing a 2019-20 mega box of Optic. But if you look at the picture, you can see there's like some Revolution in there, some Contenders, a UD black box, not UD, that's what it used to be called, some Panini Black. And, there's some other stuff buried in there. And I'm just going to keep buying these boxes and keep having fun with it, because I want to make sure we're having fun too. Like, we're here to make money, yes, but we're also here to have some fun. And I don't think we have enough of that. So there's still 2 spots left within the $8 tier before it sells out. But I went ahead and made a round 2 tier for you guys. So that's going to give you access to the Discord. It's going to allow you to be eligible for the box breaks. And only these 2 tiers are actually eligible. So as always, shout out to everybody who supports me on Patreon already. It means a lot to me. And, I want to keep growing the Discord, make it more active, get some more people in there, some more investors, because if you invest as a team, it just works a lot better. Like, if we have a strategy, if we're buying the same cards, if we understand the market, then it's going to allow that card to do a lot better. So definitely join the group. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry, I'm rushing this episode. Got a lot to do. It took a few days off, and I got a lot of catching up to do. So yeah, I'll be back every day except Sundays, as I have been, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Happy investing.